ZBrush isn't scary. Part 1, Basics.
Hi everyone, my name is Daniel Bayat and welcome to the course ZBrush isn't scary. In this video, I'm going to cover two very basic but essential things in ZBrush: primitive and undo options. These are very first steps when you want to work in ZBrush as a modeler or a sculptor or just exploring the software. So what is the primitive? Let me just click on this icon, and you see under 3D meshes there is some shape. There are primitive like a sphere, cube, cylinder, or cone, or whatever you see here. They are a primitive. And let me just click on cube and start to work. So I click and drag, and you can see I make some shapes. As I said, they are on 2.5D and they are not 3D. So if you want to work on it, so the last things you draw like this, you work on this specific object, not the others. They are just gone and they are in snapshots. So click on edit or T on your keyboard, and you can see you can just rotate it. And if you want to just make them clear, Ctrl plus N, and let me just I change my matte cap to matte gray because I like it in this way. So this is the primitive shape, and if you want to see it on wireframe, just click on Poly F here or Shift F. So you see, I see it's wireframe and it's so clean as default as ZBrush comes with. So in this primitive we have some sub-palettes here, and they are limited because I will show you when you make it 3D you have more sub-palette and you have more option to work with it. So let me just click on Initialize, and you see there is a lot of option here, like scale it on the X or Y axis or Z, or twist it. So and the others is you can control the loop on a HDY and YDY. So there is how you control your primitive, and you have different initialize options in here when you work on other kind of primitive. Let me just click on, for example, where is it? Here you see we have a different kind of options in this sub palette, and you see you can just control your primitive in this shape with this diagram. And here you can make your custom shape. So I want to just make it more sharp, or if you drag it and go to the side and back, you see there is a very sharp angle here. There is soft, and I just drag and move it to the left and back it to the right. Still I drag, and you see it's a very sharp angle. And you can by this kind make your very own shape, and maybe just by playing with these options you can see you have the other kind of shape. And let me just change it to the others. Gear, maybe. Gear has its own options like weight, or just make it like hit this. You see, with these basic options, you can make the different shape out of it. And maybe this is the hard surface loop for your guns or robots or whatever you say. Let me back to sphere, and I want to sculpt on it, but it says to enable sculpting, please convert the 3D primitive to a polymesh 3D, and let's draw. So what is this? You have a 3D shape, but you can work on it. You just have to make it on polymesh 3D. Let me just refresh my option here, and by clicking on make polymesh 3D, you make it available to a sculpt, and you see there is more options here. And yeah, that's it. And your initialize convert to something else, like when you click on Q cube, it make it a small cube which has two on a X and a Y, and on a Z there's two. You see, let me back by this history bar here and click click F to see my mesh. And by default you have a standard brush enable, and you can just click and drag. Let me just get out of the wireframe view by shift F and make my draw size bigger. You see, I just sculpt and curve out of the shape here. So I make my shape by this, and I will explain the other kind of brushes in the next videos. And now I want to cover the history channel here. You can see there is a bar which you can see you have a history, you can navigate on your history. And ZBrush is very powerful on history because it covers a lot of steps, and you can back to your history, like go to preferences, and you can find the undo history here, and you see 10,000 undo history is available. You see 10,000 steps of your work, of your sculpt. You can go back and go just find something you did without hesitation. It is very powerful, allowing other software, and yeah, that is very unique. And if you don't like to see this bar here, personally I very like it, but if you don't want to see it here, you just hit show undo selector, and you can just make it disappear. And if you want to make it permanent, go to config and store your UI. So let me do a quick recap for this video. So primitive are your basic starting meshes with editable parameters, but once you make them poly 3D, they are fully sculptable, and undo options give you control to step back or redo or even scrap through your sculpting history, as you can see. So at the end, I want to just thank you to watch this video, and if this was helpful, let me know in the comment section, and stay tuned for the next part. Thank you for your consideration.